welcome to the DR Sports Transfer Show, where we're going to be covering the latest news, rumours and everything else from the football world. Is your club going to get an Ornstein bomb? How many here we goes are we going to hear from Fabrizio Romano this January? Make sure to stay tuned every weekday for all the latest football news here on DR Sports. Yes, people, welcome back to DR Sports Transfers, your breakdown for all the transfer news happening across the January transfer window. I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. I have myself after Man United smashed Man City 2-0 in the Premier League on Saturday. But apart from that, we're going to get into all of the reports that have come over across the weekend and here on Monday morning, 19th of January. My name's Dylan and let's get into it. So the big news that's come out over the weekend is, according to reports from France, Jeremy Jacquet, the talented young defender who's been heavily linked with Arsenal, has agreed personal terms and reached an agreement with Chelsea. And reportedly, he's informed Rennes, his current club, he would like to join Chelsea this month. Not in the summer, not in August, not in June, not in July. This month in January, the centre-back wants to join. And according to Ben Jacobs, the French side are hoping for a club record sale. So that would be surpassing the £55 million that they sold Jeremy Doku for to Man City in August 2023. Club-to-club talks continuing. Rennes want upwards potentially 60 million plus for the defender. Chelsea, obviously, as we know, like to buy the young talents. They want an agreement reached this month. The player wants to move this month. So I do think keep an eye on this one. I'd say probably 8 or 9 out of 10 chance that this one will happening. And meanwhile, sticking with Chelsea, according to Team Talk, Chelsea have informed Real Madrid that they want to sell Enzo Fernandez, a 25-year-old Argentinian midfielder, this year. Now, we all know Enzo Fernandez joined Chelsea from Real Madrid. Sorry, not from Real Madrid, from Benfica, for over £100 million. But I would say maybe this one may not be as true as, let's say, the Jeremy Jacquet one, because Rafinha came out after the game the other day, after Chelsea's win over Brentford, and he said, Enzo Fernandez, I was so impressed. I knew he was an outstanding player, but it's not until you see a player up close to see what he is all about. He's a winner. So realistically, maybe Real Madrid are looking, and we know they're looking for midfielders. That's been known. Real Madrid, they want new midfielders. They want to continue building on the squad they have, especially with a new manager possibly coming in to replace Xabi Alonso after Xabi Alonso left. But maybe it's a bit early to think that Chelsea would be willing to sell Enzo Fernandez, considering how much Rafinha likes him and how important he is to Chelsea. But moving across to North London, Arsenal are reportedly eyeing moves for 2 players. It's 22-year-old Germany Eintracht Frankfurt fullback Nathaniel Brown. This is according to Court Offside. They're looking for a move for him. And also Sporting's Ivory Coast defender, Ousmane Diomande, 22-year-old, who's been heavily linked with a lot of teams. He was linked big time with Man United when Ruben Amorim was at the club. Ruben Amorim reportedly sees him as a fantastic defender. Diamande's been playing in the Champions League for years, obviously with the Ivory Coast national team as well. Possibly one to keep on eye in the summer again. We know that Hincapié is currently only on loan, £45 million option to buy, but no indication yet. I mean, the indication is that Arsenal are planning on activating the £42 million agreement they have with Leverkusen for the player, but no guarantee on it yet. And they're looking for centre-backs. So do keep an eye continuing on Arsenal's pursuit of defenders. So moving over to Liverpool, according to Team Talk, again, Liverpool have turned their attention to Inter Milan and Italian defender Alessandro Bastoni, the 26-year-old, after missing out on Marc Guéhi, who is set to join Manchester City in the next couple of days. On the Marc Guéhi front, all reports have stated he has now completed his medical with Man City. We completed it yesterday on Sunday and is due to be announced in the coming days, possibly as early as today. However, he will not be able to play in the Champions League for Man City this week or going forward until the end of the league stage, with 2 games left in the league stage. So he won't be able to play until the knockout phase due to registration problems. So all clubs ahead of the knockout phase will be able to submit new squads, obviously due to the January transfer window, submit new squads, register new players for the knockout phase of the Champions League. So Marc Guéhi can play in the Champions League for Man City, but not yet. It will still take a few more games until the registration reopens and the deadline shuts before the knockout phase. Moving over to Italy for a second, Juventus are reportedly cooling their interest in Federico Chiesa from Liverpool, the 28-year-old. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. The 28-year-old, obviously, as we know, has not had the best time at Liverpool since joining them, but Arne Slot clearly doesn't trust him too much. He comes off the bench sometimes, but still only made a couple of starts for Liverpool since he joined, pretty much. You can count them on 1 or 2 hands. But Juventus reportedly cooling their interest, with Liverpool deciding they don't So the reports saying that Liverpool are hesitant to get rid of him in January. But Mo Salah coming back could change things. And sticking with Juventus, Crystal Palace have rejected Juventus's initial approach for Jean-Philippe Mateta. We know what's happening in Crystal Palace. Glasner has gone mental in his press conference. He's claiming that he's not being backed. Him and his players are being abandoned after selling Eze day before a game, after selling Mark Gay day before a game this weekend. So Crystal Palace are in turmoil. They are keeping Glasner. They still plan to keep him until the end of the season, according to all reports. David Ornstein, Sky, BBC, Athletic, all of it. But Crystal Palace, it may be Crystal Palace have rejected the approach from Mateta because Glasner has been so public. They're thinking, we don't want to do that again. They want to see out the season, see if they can get European spots. Mateta's not even having the greatest season. Some Palace fans are getting very frustrated with him, but reportedly rejected them. And then moving back to North London in Tottenham, according to the Telegraph, Thomas Frank wants to sign a left-sided attacking player either in January or the summer. But he may not be here. According to The Independent, Tottenham's hierarchy met on Sunday, or they were expected to meet on Sunday, to discuss the future of Thomas Frank following the defeat to West Ham. Callum Wilson, 91st minute winner at Spurs' own ground. Huge win for West Ham. Massive loss for Thomas Frank. BBC have been claiming that Thomas Frank, there are members of the hierarchy who are actively advocating for his dismissal, but Thomas Frank feels he still has the backing of the board. He's claimed that they're closer to progress than they are to regressing, even though Spurs are bottom of the half the table, losing to West Ham, having an absolute torrid time. And then in the transfer news in Thomas Frank, with Thomas Frank's future, according to reports in Spain, Tottenham have already made contact with former Barcelona manager and Barcelona legend and Spanish legend Xavi Hernandez. So Spurs, reportedly, according to reports in Spain, are already sounding out and looking for potential other options to replace Thomas Frank for the rest of the season. Thomas Frank, it's a knife edge for Thomas Frank, isn't it? It may come out today that they've decided to sack him. It may come out today that they're going to continue backing him. So if they're meeting on Sunday, expect a report on Monday, not come out yet as of 10 a.m., but expect a report on Monday or possibly Tuesday on the future of Thomas Frank. But the Spanish reports also claim that another club looking for a manager, Manchester United, have also made contact with Xavi Hernandez. It's been known that Xavi Hernandez wants to manage United, but United are assessing their options, and Xavi Hernandez seems to be one of them, although they are valuing Premier League experience, so that may not work. But sticking with United have reportedly rejected several approaches from Premier League clubs and AC Milan for Harry Maguire this month. Maguire's out of contract in the summer, and obviously he was fantastic when he came and played against Manchester City on the weekend, his first start in 6 weeks, 2.5 months. A long time since he last played, pretty much 2 months since Maguire last started a game. He was fantastic, and they want to keep him. Michael Carrick will no doubt want to keep him, but I think Maguire is someone to look out for in the summer, possibly going to Italy, because as we covered on Friday, there are a lot of reports linking Maguire with a move to either Fiorentina, Inter Milan, especially if Liverpool are interested in Bastoni. That could be one that you see, Harry Maguire to Inter Milan, or to Napoli as well. Napoli love an ex-Manchester player with Højlund. They wanted Kobe Mainoo. They've got Scott McTominay. They've got Romelu Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne. So do keep an eye on that. But sticking with United, Manchester United reportedly want to bring in Ruben Neves this winter window. They're looking for a midfielder. That is no secret. They want a midfielder, but they're looking for Ruben Neves. But Al Hilal will demand a fee in the region of £20 million for Neves this month. United, according to Fabrizio Romano, United are meeting early this week, with Michael Carrick to discuss the possibility of a signing in January, with other reports saying they want either a midfielder, a left winger, or a new centre-back. But reports are suggesting that a left winger may be the priority for this month, because it would be just a squad signing who can add to the current squad. Obviously, with Michael Carrick now playing with wide wingers, Patrick Dorgu has done a fantastic job against Man City, but United are reportedly looking for a left winger within their transfer business, but maybe not this month. All their business is expected, or most of their business, the heavy lifting, is expected to be left until the summer, even though Amram's been sacked, even though they're looking for a new manager, and even though Michael Carrick's got off to a great start. But on United midfielders, finally, Manchester United, according to Report Offside, are prepared to rival Napoli and Atletico Madrid for Wolves' 24-year-old João Gomez. The Brazilian midfielder has been fantastic for Wolves despite their poor season. He's been linked with a move to United for a long time. Also linked with Atletico Madrid. Also linked with Napoli, as we've said. But João Gomez reportedly wants to leave Wolves, but is happy to wait until the summer because he's got more options and he's inclined to stay in the Premier League. So do keep an eye on the future of João Gomez, potentially with Manchester United. Very much interested. Obviously, they've got Matheus Cunha as well, who's known to be good mates with João Gomez as Brazil and Wolves, former Wolves, and also with Brazil. But that has been all the transfer news that has come out this weekend in the Premier League and Europe. Make sure to keep an eye on every morning. DR Sports here. We're here to give you all of the coverage, all the latest news, and break it all down for you. Apart from them, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.